this is Amy with Flower Moxie, and I'm unboxing our soft blush bouquet. It's one of our favorites and most popular. So I've got two large bouquets. They have come with the ribbon. The first time I received these, they were rubber banded. So I can't say consistently if the farm's going to do this, so the jury's out on this. They're very long stemmed. They come looking very tired and underwhelming. But if you've been traveling for a couple days from South America, you'd probably look the same. Wow, really tight, really underwhelming. You're probably thinking, am I really supposed to carry this down the aisle? Yes, you will, don't worry. It comes with a food packet, and you really need to pay attention. It says it calls for about 1 liter, 1 quart of water per packet. I don't have that, so I'm just gonna add a little bit. All this is gonna do is give the flowers, there we go, smack of glucose. So we're gonna give it some sugar and citric acid to balance out the pH of the water. And then also it has like a biocide in it, so pretty much like type of bleach. I'm gonna take the, man, they got these pins in here good. Keep the bacteria low in the water. So I feel like these need to loosen up a bit. You can keep them bound. I'm gonna save this ribbon because it's nice. I just wanna loosen it up a bit. So they've actually bound this with a rubber band and stem tape. You can leave it on, this is my own preference. I wanna let these breathe, and I wanna let these roses blow out and open. So when you get these ready-mades, it's really your choice. But as a florist, this is what I'm telling you to do. Okay. You know what, for this, I'm just gonna cut that because I can bind this again. All right, I don't need all the stem length. If this was my bouquet and I were to hold it, if you can see, I can't do a lot with this because the stems are preventing that from happening and they're kind of in an awkward position. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off quite a bit just for hydration. But before I hand off a bouquet to a bride, or what I instruct in all my videos, is I would bring it about up to here. I really just like barely 2 hands, really just a handle is good for me. And this will allow you to move with this bouquet. And then I'm opening this up because I want these ranunculus and roses to blow out and open. So I'm coming in and I'm cutting at an angle, and I'm cutting off this excess length because I just don't need it. And we're doing our shoot, and on one of the bouquets, we're gonna leave it as is so you can just see it, it's pretty as it is. The other, we're gonna backfill with some other flowers to show you that you can buy these ready-mades and just add a few bits and bobs, and it gives it a new look and you can really customize it. So know that your Queen Anne's lace, particularly on this one, is just gonna look shot. Queen Anne's lace doesn't love to travel. It takes a while to perk up, but I'm not worried about it. Another is you have these garden roses. These blushy roses are, I believe, are these white O'Haras, or I think they're white O'Haras. I don't think that they're pink O'Haras, or they'd be darker, but they're gonna have guard petals too. So even though these are ready-mades, doesn't mean that you don't have to kind of come in and clean them up sometimes. But the stems are already cleaned, ready to go. It does save a ton of time to buy these ready-mades. I'm a huge fan. I wouldn't be selling them if I wasn't. So I'm gonna loosen this up, and we're gonna give this a day. These are gonna be looking really, really good in just a few days. And because this is so tight and smashed, I'm gonna do the same for this one. Some of the bouquets I think can just be cut and left as is, But as a florist, I do know that letting them have breathing room, you're gonna get them to blow out the most. And what blow out means is that the petals can open to their full capacity. All the petals open. The stem tape is something I can easily replace, or use a zip tie, or use a rubber band. But this one's one of my favorites. I think it's really, really sweet. It's a great foundation. Okay, make sure everything's in water. They have a little bit of nutrition to kind of perk them up. They're gonna look very different in one day. So if you like soft, romantic, lacy vibes, this soft blush bouquet is going to be a great foundation, or just grab it, go down the aisle, and call it a day on your flowers.
Hey, this is Callie with Flower Moxie, and I wanted to show you our soft blush pre-made bouquet. So these pre-made bouquets are incredible for so many reasons, and we'll go over all of those in this video. But to start, this is how they arrive from the farm. I mean, it's basically perfect already, but of course I'm gonna show you how we can like change this up. So these are built at the farm level. If you can see here, they're already in that perfect spiral bouquet shape that we love. Built at the farm, shipped directly to your door. So this bouquet is really nice and full already for a bridal bouquet. We've got lots of Queen Anne's lace, white ranunculus, cream spray roses, blush roses. We've even got these white O'Hara garden roses in here. And then the greenery is Israeli ruscus and pennycress. So right off the bat, what more could you want? Glad you asked. So I'm gonna make this a little bit more organic shaped. It's a little bit round right now, which is beautiful. It would be ready to go if that's your vibe. But of course we're gonna change things up just in case you want to see how this bouquet can be transformed. So to start, I'm just gonna kind of loosen these stems up a little bit and pull the back roses up higher while also bringing these front roses down lower. Got a cluster of greenery here. I'm just gonna remove that and add it back once I kind of have the shape a little bit better. So already here you can see a little bit more organic shape. We're moving things around. This bouquet I think is around $100, maybe $115, which is incredible for this size and the flowers that you get in this. But even better than that, this is like half-hearted DIY. I don't even know if it's half. This is like quarter-hearted DIY. You could cut this, hydrate it, put a bow around it, and walk down the aisle with it and be ready to go. And we know that time, especially during your wedding week or during any busy time of your life, is so important. So you want to manage that well, and pre-made bouquets are my new favorite way of doing that. Oops. So I'm keeping a pretty loose grip on this bouquet so I can move stems around. I'm also going to keep a loose grip when I start adding things so that it's easier to insert these extra stems into this spiral. So now that I have the flowers more so where I want, before I move on, I'm gonna look in the mirror, make sure the shape is going in the right direction. I see a bunch of these rose leaves. It's fine if you wanna leave them. I feel that they just kind of muddy up the stems and they make it a little harder for me, especially adding stems back into this. So that's why I'm removing those. Okay, that's looking really good. I do think I want to move maybe some of these. Oh no, that's a nice placement. Sometimes I change my mind. So you can see here we've got this really good flat back, which is what we want with bouquets. For anyone holding the bouquet, it's really obvious what the front is. I don't know if you've ever made a bridal bouquet and the bride just, or whoever just tramps around holding the bouquet wrong, and you're just cringing knowing that everyone's gonna see the back of your bouquet. The butt end of the bouquet is not what you want to show off. So that's my hack for not letting that happen, is to only give them one front, very obvious back. The other really good thing about that is when they set the bouquet down, it's just human nature to set the flat side down, and it won't injure the stems as bad as if you just had a completely round bouquet. So now I'm just adding this greenery back in. I'm gonna do it in less clumps and less front heavy than it was in the beginning before I took that out. So now I'm adding it a little more purposefully. Kind of gonna fill in the back with that as well. But I want it to be more evenly spread out through this bouquet. I feel like I'm really starting to get that shape that I wanted now. Greenery is really great for reinforcing whatever shape you're going for. It sticks right where you want it to stick, and it also adds a lot of volume and movement that's a little easier to achieve than with only flowers. Again, I'm trying to keep my hand loose and these stems really loose, especially as I go in now to add these extra stems. So I've got some beautiful white lisianthus here. I love lisianthus. For one, it's pretty, of course, but it also adds a lot of movement to bouquets. If you kind of leave it a little longer, you can see when you shake it, it moves, your eye goes to it, and it's easy to kind of draw people's eyes around the bouquet with these little sprigs of lisianthus. And as I add these, you'll notice I'm sticking with the spiral shape. So whenever I'm inserting a stem on this side, I kind of angle it so that it hits the spiral and matches the other stems that are already in here. You can see there now I have some cute sprigs, but they're all kind of on this higher plane. So I do want to make sure that I'm adding some kind of facing the people, facing the camera, so that the front side of the bouquet matches the rest. So I've added that one pretty much horizontally backwards. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about those lisianthus placements, and now I'm gonna add the star of the show, these sweet pea. So sweet peas oddly come in bunches of 25 stems in a bunch, and I've convinced myself that that's because it's very normal to have a high rate of loss with sweet peas. Whoops, I lost that piece. Because they are very delicate, very sensitive. So when working with them, you want to be mindful not to cry, or if you break one like I just did, it's okay. Move on, it's totally normal. But they're so perfect for bouquets. They're just light, fluffy, but they can be pretty spendy. So one thing to keep in mind is if it's not in your budget, that stock, white stock flower or blush stock or lavender stock are great replacements for sweet peas. And they're also way hardier and less expensive. So since sweet pea stems are very delicate, I'm very carefully placing this into the spiral. But I want to keep the stems as long as possible so that you can kind of see them dancing throughout the bouquet. So I want to put these, I'm going to put these kind of in the front here, facing out as usual, because this is where everyone's eyes are going to be focused. So I feel like the sweet pea as well as the lisianthus just adds a lot of bounce and movement to this bouquet, as well as just being really sweet. So I have a few more stems here. I'm just going to tuck those in deeply for that nice kind of soft texture as well. Well, I broke that one. All right, so my one last little sweet pea in the center. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good. Before I attach my zip tie, wrap these stems together, I'm gonna look in the mirror one more time, make any adjustments that I need. I feel like the bouquet is falling in a little bit on itself. It's normal, so I'm just kind of pulling some of the focal flowers or really anything that's fallen deeply in out to make this extend a little further. Okay, I feel really good about this. You know, this bouquet was beautiful before I started messing with it. Of course, we had to see what we could do. It was blush and cream to start, it's blush and cream to finish, but I think it just added a little more maybe softness with the sweet pea and lisianthus, and definitely added some volume too. So if you wanted a bigger bouquet, if you wanted to add your favorite flower, white sweet pea, this is a really quick and easy way to do that. So the Premade Bouquet gives you a wonderful base for both florists and DIY brides. It's a great place to start, and you can really build it from there and make it your own, or you can use it as it already is, which we saw was really beautiful. So this is our soft blush Premade Bouquet. Really love how this turned out, and I'd like to know what you think about it too.